A lot happens in Antarctica, most of it very slowly. So often the biggest battle is not against the wildlife or against the elements, because things happen in Antarctica on Antarctic terms. So often the biggest battle in this cold continent is the battle against mind-numbing monotony. It's snowing. The sun's still up. It must be Antarctica. It's the 31st. It's December. It must be New Year's Eve morning. Oh, and I'm already dressed. Don't you love that? Up and at 'em.
Cherry Quigley, Wild Turkey, Jack Barclay, Black Label or Scotch, John Starr, Vodka, Brian Sissons, Johnny Walker Red Label, How copy?
Yeah, Roger. Keep smiling, boy. Keep smiling. I'll see you later.
Yes, okay, Ted. This is drill site signing out and clear with Scott base. Over.
New Year's Eve 2006, it's bright light, 25 past 10 p.m. Captain's log. I've just realised the whole thing about staying at Scott base. It's like living on a space station. It's like being in space. It's like an 80s space drama, like Space 1999. You're in this sealed space station. Everyone acts normal, eats normal food, dresses normal, has normal relationships. But to go outside into that very dangerous wide area, you got to get dressed up in this almost spacesuit to go out there, and you might never come back. It's like I'm in space.
Hey!
Yeah. A lot of drunken space girls. And they seem to be like part scientist, part extreme skier, part drunk, part nut bar. So it should be a bit exciting later on when I'm working the bar, which I'm dreading. I only started working the bar to fit in, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's not a bit of knuckle later on, actually. One hopes. It's like Space 1999 meets Animal House. Taringa toga. Toga! Toga! And there's something specifically in the note saying you're not supposed to use Scott Base's sheets for toga parties, so they've contravened the rule. Toga! Should you be wearing those sheets? Oh, yeah. It's actually feeling quite festive now. I've realised it's a space station. It's like full of jocks and drivers from the American base and scientists in sandals. So it's really weird. And there's a whole lot of guys in togas. And there's a whole lot of people saying skull, 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 skull. And there's a whole lot of those blowy horns that people blow. So if you wanted to invent the worst night of your life, this would come pretty close. A lot of AC/DC as well, a long way to the shop if you want a sausage roll. So 1 hour, I'll be in the bar, so hopefully it'll finish. 5 minutes to New Year's! 2 minutes! Didn't get a hug, got nothing. All I got was a handshake from Gavin, my skidoo instructor. You know how Kiwis always wax lyrical about summer holidays camping at the beach? Well, this is a summer holiday camping at the beach, but I'm not going to be waxing lyrical about it. I've come out to spend some time at Shackleton's Hut at Cape Royds. And just putting up 2 tents has taken 4 hours. It's snowing, it's windy, it's Antarctica, so it's sub-zero temperatures. There's no soil. In fact, it's permafrost, so the pegs don't go in. So it's a summer holiday at the beach with a more than slightly extreme undertone. In fact, you can see the snow, it's coming through horizontally, 50 knots. I've been on camping holidays where it's rained and rained and rained, the tent's flooded, but this is ludicrous. So I know as I'm lying tonight sleeping, it'll be even a greater sleep knowing that the effort and care put into the tents was worth it. Because I'm sure if there was any slackness, pa-chong! And the tent would be in the South Pole before you could say Jack the Rabbit. Pa-chong! Icebergs out there, icebergs, penguins. It's Antarctica like I expected it. I actually didn't envisage this. I thought we'd just be coming out and I thought the tents might already be up. Wouldn't have been difficult for them to do that, would it?
And given that these are fairly typical conditions for the area, it's hard to fathom why Sir Ernest Shackleton kept coming back.
The first time Ernest Shackleton went to the South Pole, he went with Robert Falcon Scott and found it got too cold. They turned back before they got there, and Ernest he got scurvy. They also got snow blindness, which made them topsy-turvy. Oh, Sir Ernest, you shouldn't try to roam. Oh, Sir Ernest, you should have stayed at home. 'Twas on the good ship Nimrod, he had a second go, but he took ponies to pull the sleds which sank into the snow. He got much closer this time, 88 latitude. He might have actually made it if he thought to bring more food. Oh, Sir Ernest, you were accident prone. Oh, Sir Ernest, you should have stayed at home. The third time that he tried it, he planned it very nice, but he didn't even get close. His ship got crushed by ice. The fourth time that he tried it, he died. Oh, Sir Ernest. Oh, forget it.
First sunny day we've had for a while, so be very wary of sunburn, so be super careful.
These big open tins of food will no longer be appropriate.
And tomorrow we're getting a whole new resupply of food, so we'll ship the other stuff out. With the fresh food, it'll be good to start looking after it.
One thing about camping in Antarctica is no matter what your role is here, you are expected to pitch in with all the chores.
In Antarctica, all waste has to be identified, sorted, separated and disposed of. So right here, I'm getting rid of the liquid human waste. Always give way to penguins as they pick the rocks up, silly little buggers. Come on, I'm giving way to you. I'm in the 10-metre rule, I give way to you. Penguins turning right on your right. Off you go, Pingo. Come on. Get a rock, get a rock. Your mate got a rock. Good on you. Oh, sorry. Oh, I gave you a little fright, didn't I? See the heckles on the back of its head's colour? Brilliant. Yeah, this is going into the sea. Better out than in. Taking the piss. Yuck. I'm on dinner, and that requires a bit of digging. I've got to find it first, so. Gee, it's a good day. Just stunning. Might be 3-4 degrees. Obviously, the whole of Antarctica is a freezer, and the food is just stored in this ice bank. I'm looking for a bean stew. That looks promising. It's got spicy beans written on it. It's not frozen, which is interesting. So it's a fridge rather than a freezer. So that's dinner.
But the people I'm staying with aren't here for a camping holiday. They're here to do important work on Shackleton's hut from his Nimrod expedition, his second attempt at the pole. The hut has sat in the sheltered bay for nearly 100 years, and with often bleak conditions, it's not hard to see why it has been steadily deteriorating. But this dedicated team have been lovingly restoring the building for the past 3 years, so it will soon be returned to how it was when Shackleton last stepped out of the door in 1909.
So what's that there?
This here,
That's horse skin, is it?
it could well be actually. It could even be a bit of seal.
I'm concerned about re-releasing the flu pandemic of 1908.
I'm sure we're fine.
Well, it's been frozen for all this time, eh?
Yeah, it's just, I mean, it's
The great thing about the sunshine, especially a day like today, it's a good way to actually release the artefacts.
And that's what I could be releasing artefacts, eh? Although it's just straw, isn't it, at this stage?
Basically, this is fodder. This is the food they fed the ponies.
How stupid,
and you
bringing
see
ponies all this way.
You can see the bells of it up here, and what's happened is it's just sort of, with the wind and the like, it's blown round and come in against the hut.
Do we know if it's New Zealand fodder? I suppose they got their...
It would have been New Zealand fodder, yep.
It'll be fine Canterbury Plains hay and stuff, won't it?
Possibly, yeah. When they arrived, they had 2,500 boxes, and they had to store them in different places. So they actually used them for building blocks. So you can see here, they actually created the stables for the ponies and also a garage for the carport. And they stacked them up actually higher than this, and they put a canvas roof down.
Oh, there's something there. What's that there? That's part of something, isn't it?
Yeah, there's a bit of a fabric there. It could almost look like a bit of a corner of a blanket. So they had horse blankets or pony blankets, and they had leather corners on them. So we'll just treat that one carefully too, so we'll just work around it at the moment. And what we do is we actually, everything we find, we record, put a number on it, and draw it out on a grid system. So from the knowledge we get from this area here, we can actually build up a better picture.
God, there's a lot of work, isn't there?
It is. Shackleton, from the readings that I've done, he's a great leader. His men respected him. So he lived with the men. He'd be the sort of the bloke who'd get up in the morning and make them a cup of tea and pitch in.
Give them his biscuit.
Yeah, exactly. and he'd be a team player, and the men respected him for that.
I wonder what buildings we're building now that people will be saving in 100 years, eh? You know, something that just some little shack that someone builds that might be the site of a great discovery or a great trip, eh?
Exactly.
It's hard to know.
Yeah, could be your place in Bluff.
Well, could well be. What is interesting and probably, for me, a bit surprising about this hut is it's small. You get up on the hill and look down, it looks about the size of a double garage. So, yeah, not a palatial expedition at all. And 16, I think, men must have wintered over in here for 6 months or for longer. Of course, it's been continually dark down here, so there must have been some amusing times and probably plenty of times it was blowing a howling gale and everyone was getting on each other's nerves and was probably quite a harrowing time. Also, of course, in this hut, they were amputating toes and people were sick and all sorts of stuff would have gone on here. Probably as much stuff happened in this room in 6 months that, you know, a lifetime of stuff would have happened.
Another day and the restoration of Shackleton's hut at Cape Royds continues.
When the hut was fully occupied, there were 15 individual bunks. There was so much demand for this limited amount of real estate that in order for everyone to get their bunks out at night, they had to lift the wardroom table to the rafters to make room. And likewise, in the morning, the 2 bunks towards Shackleton's cubicle there and also towards the darkroom had to be lifted up just to let people walk about their business.
It must have been fun going to sleep, mustn't it? Because the laughter would have gone on after, after the light with it.
And there must have been a real order that it had to be done in, otherwise it would all be chaos as well.
And why is there, looking as a visitor now and, in the next century, why is there so much food left? Is that just because they brought too much? Or I suppose a lot of it's the sponsor's product, is it?
I suspect we're looking at the stuff they didn't like. You've got to remember, there's no cases of champagne left on the shelf or boxes of chocolates.
It's tin kidney and minced collops.
Tripe and curried rabbit.
What are collops?
I have no idea.
What's the collops? Do you know what that is?
Yeah. Everyone asks that question. It's a meat product. And it's, you know how today we get mechanically picked meat from carcasses? It's like the ends of quality meat. Collops is pretty much like that. It's all the bits and pieces, all the scraps.
All the mad cow stuff, all the sort of spinal tissue and stuff like that, is it?
Yep, pretty much. Put it in a mincer, ground, put into a can, cooked up, minced collops.
And with the delights of tripe and onions and boiled fowl to feast on the evenings must have flown by.
And this is what they call consolidated pea soup.
Shades of Honolulu.
Exactly. And all that is just pea soup one serving.
So how was that open? You just pulled the lid off, did you, or was it?
You just rip them straight off. They appear to be pressure fit. So you just pop them off and away you go.
Far out. That's tiny soup.
Yeah, I know.
Obviously not that popular with so much of it left.
Well, that's the thing. We're always wondering if we've been left with the leftovers.
Of course, people didn't live as long in those days, so, you know, life expectancy 45, 50, and you're spending a year or two down here, it would seem like a long time. And I'm sure there are plenty of nights here where they were all, it seemed like a lifetime sitting here knitting, whittling, making dominoes and the like. But, you know, I suppose if you're determined on a great adventure, you will put time into it. I mean, these people chose to come down here, so they were here by choice, but I'm sure there are plenty of times where they wondered if that choice was not made a bit rashly.
There's the official history of the expedition, and then there's the thing about working here and living here and getting to know the building and getting to know the objects and the little notes that you sometimes find in the objects or the artefacts. I mean, things like these boots here that we've just, in the last 12 hours, got out of underneath the hut. They're completely iced in, except the tops. I look at that and that speaks hugely on what these guys would have gone through. I mean, the boots are really well worn. All this repair work here, I mean, to me that's really interesting because it speaks of, you know, how these guys were here out with their sewing kit fixing stuff. Because I'm waiting for these to thaw out, I haven't actually opened up to have a look inside them. Sometimes they put their names on stuff and they wore them until they were just completely of no use. So no waste at all.
The whole project's important for you because it's like a dream job.
Yep.
Should other people care about it?
Hell yes. These places, although not many people come to visit them because of the location, I mean the places of discovery, the places where people came to get inspiration. There are many heritage sites in the world that I'll never go to, but I'm really pleased that they exist. I've never seen a giant squid. I'd like to, but I think that sort of stuff is important. It's part of the human experience, and to me, it enriches my life. And being here when there are visitors that have come here, everyone is quite amazed. And in fact, I've seen people who've got here and they've become quite overcome with the emotion of the place.
It's not altogether for me an incredibly positive experience to be here, because I've loved reading about Shackleton and all his trips and adventures, and to come to his hut at Cape Royds is almost like a pilgrimage. So yeah, it's amazing, but it's also, there's some sadness associated with it because it is the closing of a chapter. And yeah, it's only that cliche that I can really use to put it into words. But an experience that I never would have turned down and wouldn't have missed for the world. It's not the person that gets there that's the hero, it's the person that fails to get there but fails in such a gallant and brave way, and I think that's the whole thing of Shackleton. He never got to the pole, he never got right across Antarctica like he hoped to do. All his trips were heroic failures. So just like 100 years ago, there's a real shortage of water here in the camp. So it's a constant struggle to get snow, to get on the fire, to get melted, to get the water that we need. So yeah, it's as simple as that, melting snow to make water. Fortunately, there's plenty of snow. And that's how you make water in Antarctica. Water in an hour. And then just stir it.
We almost got under the hut today with that box being on the way. What's in it? No idea at this stage. It'll be the treasure trove.
Is it the whiskey?
I've been incredibly impressed by the dedication of this small team. They work at the mercy of the elements, and funding these projects is an ongoing problem. But I leave knowing that Shackleton's legacy is in good hands. This is an oak tree that Shackleton planted in Christchurch in 1917 during a speaking tour and tree planting. This is planted outside the front of a girls' hostel that Shackleton was particularly fond of, and left them a lot of his stuff and apparently a lot of his books as well. And it's kind of ironic that New Zealanders are falling over themselves to restore
and celebrate all Shackleton's artefacts in Antarctica, yet right in the middle of Christchurch is this gorgeous tree in a part of town in a position it's completely neglected. And what I really love, if I can be a bit David Bellamy on it, is down here are hundreds of tiny oak trees, babies from Shackleton's tree. If I was trying to raise money for the restoration of huts, I'd pot all these little plants and I'd sell them, because I, for one, would pay top dollar for an oak tree that was the progeny of the tree that Shackleton planted. These could be big sellers. So pride of place in the Scott Base hallway seems to be the photos of the crews that have wintered over. They've been right throughout the long dark, and they've put a huge amount of effort into these photos. In fact, it seems as though all winter the only thing they've done is think about the photos. And they've changed 1960 scientists' beards, Abe Lincoln beards, and glasses, like David Longyear, Dick Smith, guys that smoke pipes, 67, 68, sort of Cuba in the news. We've got Fidel Castro and sort of Che Guevara chic. There's also huskies here, because they use dogs. As time goes by, moving this way, the huskies disappear about 1980. The clothing changes. Gradually, women come into it. This one's particularly good. Big beard, short hair, tight T-shirts, swan dries. You can imagine those guys reenacting a Monty Python skit. It would just be fantastic. And of course, nothing says winter over in 1980 like this one. American flag captured, headbands, beards. I mean, some laughs would have been had, but tell me what, beginning of October, get me out of here. And if you're thinking the fashion movement, it's sort of Bilotti from the Goodies, basically. And suddenly, the swan dry gear sort of goes Hawaiian shirts, tuxedos. I hate to say it, but so mid-90s, they think, oh, penguin suits, won't we look hilarious, tuxedos, all those. Frank Casey would have to order them all, fly them over, put them in Ray-Bans. Hugely expensive, how indulgent. You get the wacky old-time photographs until about the year 2000, 2005, equal men and women. This group have done a Last Supper, which looks tremendous. In 2006, normal guys, icebreaker, check shirts, Timberland boots, Birkenstocks, those horrible Croc sandals, all looks quite normal. And of course, this is the special one, winter over 1957, 50 years ago. The chin, the smile, the happy demeanour, the hero, it's got to be Hillary. Your lunches, salads, and always seems to be a Scotch egg. I don't know what that's about. I don't know why they're called Scotch eggs. I presume that's racist, is it? Scotch eggs? Is it to make your eggs go further? It's always a Scotch egg dinner. Sometimes it'd be a 9 out of 10. And sometimes it would be like a... No, not as bad. No, not hospital food. Like, no, better than Hamner. It would be like a, like, not a restaurant, but like a, yeah, a bit like your cooking.